Be me, 29, married to David for about 8 months now. We met 2 years ago at my friend Rachel's birthday party. He was the quiet guy in the corner, nursing a beer, looking slightly out of place but put together. Good haircut, nice watch, drove a Tesla. Worked in tech consulting, made good money, owned a townhouse in a decent area. My type had always been the exciting ones. The musicians, the bad boys, the guys who kept me guessing. But I was pushing 30 and tired of drama. David pursued me the right way. Actual dates at nice restaurants, remembered I didn't like cilantro, sent flowers to my office. He wasn't the hottest guy I'd dated, but he was stable, successful. The kind of man my mother would approve of. My friend Jess, recently divorced, kinda bitter about it, told me over brunch one Sunday. Marry the stable one, not the exciting one. Trust me. We dated for a year. He proposed at the same restaurant where we had our first date. Small wedding, moved into his townhouse. I noticed the deed was under some LLC when I was unpacking boxes, but whatever. Rich people do that for taxes or something. The first few months were good. He did his share around the house, didn't complain when I was between marketing jobs, gave me space when I needed it. We had a healthy sex life. He was attentive, respectful, the whole package. Then came Maya. 8 months into the marriage, he mentioned casually over dinner, got assigned to a new cross-functional project at work. Should be interesting. I was scrolling through Instagram, half listening. That's good. Yeah, the project lead is really sharp. Maya something. Worked at Google before this. My thumb froze mid-scroll. Maya? Yeah, why? Just asking. I kept my voice light, but something twisted in my stomach. Later that week, I was deep in an Instagram spiral when I saw his work account tagged in a company event photo. There she was. Maya, according to the tag. Early 30s, well-dressed in that effortless tech industry way, confident smile. She was standing next to David in the group shot, holding a drink, looking exactly like the type of woman who'd be at his level. I felt it immediately, that sick feeling of comparison. She probably made as much as him, probably had her shit together, probably didn't spend 3 months finding herself between jobs like I had. Over the next few days, I asked questions, casual ones. So what's Maya like? How often do you meet with the team? Do you ever work late with her? David seemed confused by my interest. She's organized, good at her job. We have weekly syncs, sometimes grab coffee in the building to discuss deliverables. It's just work. Why all the questions? No reason, just curious about your day. But I wasn't curious. I was threatened. That weekend, I met Jess for wine at her place. She'd been divorced for a year, walked away with half of everything, and had opinioned about men. He mentioned a female co-worker, I said, swirling my glass. Maya, she's on his project. Jess's eyes sharpened. Is she hot? I mean, she's professional looking, successful. Then you need to establish boundaries now. She leaned forward. Look, men are simple creatures. You want control in a relationship? Control the intimacy. They literally cannot live without sex. Give him blue balls and he'll do anything you want. My ex would have walked through fire if I'd just put out more. But I had standards. I laughed, but something clicked in my brain. I'm serious, Jess continued. Don't be a doormat. Make him earn it. If he wants access, he needs to show you he's prioritizing you over work wives and project meetings. That night, David initiated sex. Normal for us. We had a healthy rhythm up to that point. I pulled back. I'm not really in the mood tonight. He didn't push. No worries, you okay? Just tired. He kissed my forehead and rolled over. I felt a tiny spark of something. Power, maybe. Over the next week, he mentioned Maya twice in passing. Just normal work updates. Each time, I withheld that night, claimed headaches, exhaustion, stress. He never complained, never pressured, just accepted it. By week 3, he stopped mentioning work entirely. I thought, it's working, he's learning. I also started texting my ex, Ryan. Nothing serious, just memes and "how have you been" messages. Ryan was always good for validation when I needed it. He'd respond with compliments, remind me I was attractive, tell me his current girlfriend didn't get his sense of humor like I did. I told myself it was harmless. Just friends. David started keeping a small black notebook on his nightstand around this time. When I asked about it one morning, he said, "Just work stuff. Project notes and expense tracking." I didn't think about it again. By month 10 of our marriage, the withholding had become systematic. If he seemed too invested in work, I'd create distance. If he didn't plan a date night without me asking, no intimacy. If he took too long to text back, I'd be too tired for a week. I justified it to myself. I had boundaries. I wasn't obligated. My body. My choice. All the empowerment language I'd absorbed from Instagram therapists and feminist TikTok. I sent a screenshot to Jess once. A text exchange where David had apologized for working late, promised to make it up to me. Her response? Good. Keep him on his toes. Don't let him get comfortable. It felt like winning. About a year into our marriage, David's college friends were visiting for a long weekend. Jake and Evan were flying in from the East Coast. David was excited in his quiet way, mentioning it casually over breakfast a week before. "They're good guys," he said. "Haven't seen them in person in almost 2 years." I felt immediate annoyance. A whole weekend. Friday to Sunday. I know it's last minute, but they're only in town for this conference. I can tell them no if... It's fine. I didn't mean it. I didn't like his friends. From what David had told me, they were still stuck in college mode. Fantasy football leagues, inside jokes from a decade ago, the type of guys who'd stay up until 3 a.m. playing video games. Immature. The week leading up to their visit, I decided I wasn't playing hostess. If David wanted his buddies around, he could handle it. They arrived Friday evening. Jake was tall, loud, immediately filling the space with energy. Evan was quieter, observant. They brought craft beers and a bottle of bourbon, hugged David like brothers. "You must be the famous wife," Jake said, going in for a hug. I gave him a limp side hug. "That's me." We ordered pizza. They caught up about work, people from college I didn't know, places they'd traveled. I sat on the couch with my phone, scrolling through Instagram, offering nothing to the conversation. Jake tried to engage me. "So, David mentioned you're in marketing." "Between things right now," I said, without looking up. Awkward pause. Cool. What kind of marketing are you interested in?" "Whatever pays well." I could feel David's discomfort from across the room, but I didn't care. I hadn't invited these people. Saturday was worse. They wanted to watch college football, drink beer, order wings. I made loud comments about boys and their sports, complained about the wing smell ruining the kitchen, rolled my eyes every time they laughed at inside jokes. When Jake mentioned David's upcoming promotion possibility at work, I interrupted. "Oh please, he's been almost promoted for 2 years. I'll believe it when I see it." The room went quiet. David stared at his beer. His friends exchanged glances. "I mean, I'm just being realistic," I added. "No point getting hopes up." That evening, they suggested going out to a bar. David looked at me hopefully. "Want to come?" "And watch you guys relive your glory days? I'm good." They left. I had the house to myself for 4 hours. It was perfect. Sunday morning, I stayed in the bedroom until almost noon. When I finally emerged, they were cleaning up breakfast. "Finally got your beauty sleep?" Jake joked. "Some of us don't spend all night drinking," I said flatly. The energy shifted. They left earlier than planned, around 2 p.m. instead of after dinner. The hugs were stiff. "Hit us up, man," Evan said to David at the door, with a look that said more than the words. After they left, David was quiet. He started doing dishes without a word. I grabbed his phone from the counter while he was in the shower. I knew his passcode, his mum's birthday. Opened his messages, found the group chat labeled College Crew. Jake. Bro, you good? That was rough. Evan. Yeah, man. She was really harsh all weekend. Is everything okay at home? Jake. Honestly, it felt like she doesn't even respect you. That's not normal behavior. David. She's just stressed with the job search. You guys don't see the full picture. Evan. If you say so, but seriously, we're here if you need anything. That whole weekend felt off. David. I appreciate it. She's not usually like that. I'll talk to her. Jake. All right, man. Just take care of yourself. You deserve better than being talked down to in your own house. I felt rage bubble up. How dare they analyze my relationship? How dare they act like they knew what was happening? And David? He barely defended me. She's not usually like that? That was it? When he got out of the shower, I was ice cold. Your friends are assholes? He looked confused. What? They clearly have a problem with me. You were pretty harsh this weekend. I think they were worried. Oh, so you're taking their side? I'm not taking sides. He sounded tired. I'm just saying, maybe we could have made them feel more welcome. I don't exist to entertain your friends, David. I'm not asking you to entertain them, just basic hospitality. I don't want to hear it. I went to the bedroom and slammed the door. For the next 2 weeks, I gave him complete silent treatment. Slept on the couch, claiming I needed space. Zero intimacy. Barely spoke to him, except for necessary logistics. During one terse conversation in the kitchen, I brought up Maya again. I want you off that project. He looked at me like I'd spoken a foreign language. What? The project with Maya. I want you to request a transfer or something. That's not how work works. I can't just... So you're choosing her over me? It's my job. There's nothing between us. I've shown you the emails, the calendar invites. It's all professional. I don't care. If you respected me, you'd find a way. He went quiet. Didn't argue, just nodded slowly and walked away. I took the silence as him finally understanding. What I didn't notice, he'd started documenting everything. Late nights on his laptop that I assumed were work emails. A folder labeled Household 2023 with receipts and bank statements. The notebook that had grown thicker. He'd become more observant, less reactive. I mistook it for submission. By year 2 of our marriage, the intimacy was virtually non-existent. Months would pass. He stopped initiating entirely, stopped trying to plan dates, became polite and distant, like a considerate roommate who paid all the bills. I was still freelancing sporadically, spending freely on his accounts, brunches with Jess, new clothes, subscription boxes. He never commented on it. I thought I had him trained. 3 years into our marriage, on a random Wednesday evening, everything changed. I was on the couch, scrolling through Instagram, looking at apartments I couldn't afford but liked to fantasize about. David came home from work earlier than usual, which was strange. He was holding a manila envelope. He sat down across from me. We need to talk. I barely looked up. About what? He slid the envelope across the coffee table. I'm filing for divorce. Time stopped. I stared at the envelope like it might explode. What? I've already filed. These are your copies. I opened it with shaking hands. Official documents, lawyer letterhead from J & Associates, a firm I recognized as expensive. Petition for dissolution of marriage. Grounds cited, irreconcilable differences and constructive abandonment. What the fuck, David? His face was calm. Eerily calm. I can't do this anymore. I haven't been happy for a long time. You can't just... We can work on this. I reached for his hand. He pulled back gently. I don't want to work on it. I'm done. Is this about Maya? Because I swear to God, if you're leaving me for... This has nothing to do with Maya. This is about us. Or the lack of us. David, please. We can go to counseling. We can... I've already made my decision. He stood up. My lawyer will be in touch about next steps. I'm staying at a hotel for a few days to give you space. You already have a hotel? He didn't answer. Just picked up a bag I hadn't noticed by the door and left. I sat there in shock for maybe an hour. Then I called Jess. David's divorcing me. Oh shit, are you okay? The question made me pause. Was I okay? Actually, I think I'm relieved. He's been so cold for months anyway. Fuck him. Girl, listen to me. Get a lawyer. A good one. Take him for everything. After we hung up, I started thinking clearly for the first time since he'd left. David made around $180,000 a year, maybe more. The townhouse was worth at least $600,000. I'd checked Zillow obsessively. His 401k, his investments, savings accounts. We lived in a community property state. I was getting half of everything. I pulled up a calculator on my phone. Even conservative estimates put me at $400,000 minimum, maybe more. Plus potential alimony, given the income disparity while I'd been finding myself professionally. I started smiling, actually smiling. He was too nice to fight dirty, too conflict-averse. He'd probably cave in negotiations just to get it over with. And his lawyer being expensive? That was probably fear-talking. Overcompensating because he didn't know what he was doing? I opened Zillow and started looking at luxury one-bedroom apartments in the trendy part of town. Exposed brick, floor-to-ceiling windows, rooftop pools. I could afford them now. I texted Jess. Just did the math. I'm about to be set. Her response. That's my girl. Don't let him intimidate you. I called my friend Rachel next. David and I are splitting up. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Don't be. Honestly, I think this is for the best. We've grown apart. I framed it as mutual, as my choice. Posted a vague Instagram story that night. A sunset photo with the caption, "Sometimes the trash takes itself out." It got 43 likes. The first week, I consulted with a lawyer named Linda that Rachel recommended. Local, decent reviews, reasonable rates. I didn't need some shark. This was straightforward. Linda reviewed the petition. Her face got serious as she read. He's claiming constructive abandonment. What does that mean? Willful denial of intimacy for an extended period. In this state, it's valid grounds for fault-based divorce. That's bullshit. I had boundaries. Did you communicate these boundaries clearly? Was there mutual understanding? I shifted uncomfortably. I mean, it was implied. Linda made a note. He also has documentation, journal entries, dated and detailed, witness statements from friends and family. My stomach dropped. Witness statements? We'll get to that in discovery. More concerning is the forensic accountant on his legal team. Why does that matter? It means he's being very thorough about asset division. His financial disclosure is showing significantly less than you'd expect for his income level. We'll need to investigate. I waved my hand dismissively. He's probably just scared, trying to hide stuff. We'll find it. But Linda's face stayed serious. Just prepare yourself. This might be more complicated than you think. I left her office annoyed, but not worried. David was meticulous, sure, but he wasn't ruthless. He'd fold. That night, I scrolled through luxury apartments again, saved my favorites, started planning my new life. 2 days after he served the papers, David texted, "Can we meet, just to talk? Coffee?" I felt a spark of hope. Maybe he was having second thoughts. Maybe I could fix this. We met at a Starbucks near his office. Public, neutral. He was already sitting when I arrived, looking tired but composed. I sat down, immediately going for sympathy. "David, I don't understand why you're doing this. We can work on things." "There's nothing to work on." "Yes, there is. I know I've been distant, but it's been stressful." "You've been more than distant." His voice was flat. "You've been cruel." "That's not fair. I had boundaries. I wasn't obligated to." "You weaponized intimacy for 3 years. That's not boundaries. That's abuse." The word hit me like a slap. Abuse? Are you serious? I'm the victim here. You were always working, always distracted. I was working to support us. You haven't had consistent income in 2 years. So now you're throwing money in my face? I'm stating facts. I felt my control slipping, changed tactics. Tears. I can't believe you're being this cold. After everything? After everything? He almost laughed. What did you give me? Really? I gave you 3 years of my life. You gave me 3 years of punishment for crimes I didn't commit. I stood up, angry now. You know what? Fine. Take your little divorce, but everyone's going to know what you did, how you abandoned me, how you probably fucked Maya, how you're a... Careful. Something in his tone stopped me. You're going to tell people I had an affair with Maya? That I was abusive, controlling? If you force me to, yes. He pulled out his phone, set it on the table between us. This conversation has been recorded, as were 3 others over the past year when you made similar threats. My blood went cold. My lawyer has copies. So does my therapist, and I've filed a report with the police about the blackmail, just to create a record. It's all documented. You set me up? I protected myself. There's a difference. He stood up. You keep thinking I'm the person you married? I'm not. That person died about 2 years ago when you told his friends he was pathetic. Sign the papers. He walked out. I sat there, shaking, staring at the coffee I hadn't touched. He'd been recording me, planning this. While I thought I had control, he'd been building a case. Discovery took 3 weeks. When Linda called me back to her office, I knew something was wrong from her voice. We have a problem. She spread documents across her desk. The townhouse deed, owned by an LLC under his mother's name. He'd refinanced 18 months ago. I'd signed papers thinking it was just routine paperwork. His salary had been restructured through a consulting shell company. Instead of W-2 income, he paid himself distributions. His 401k was smaller than expected. Early withdrawal, penalties paid, money moved to protected vehicles. Our joint savings, $8,000. That was it. Where's the rest? I demanded. He moved it, legally. Over the course of about 18 months, he systematically protected his assets. So what do I get? Linda hesitated. Best case scenario? Maybe $30,000 to $40,000 total. The house isn't marital property anymore. His restructured income complicates things, and he's claiming financial abuse. You spent $47,000 over 2 years on his accounts without authorization or discussion. She pulled out another document. His evidence file, journal entries spanning 2 years, detailed accounts of every intimacy refusal, every cold interaction, dated and time-stamped. Screenshots of my text conversations with my ex Ryan, flirtatious messages, me complaining about David, emotional affair territory, ring camera footage from the friend's visit weekend, statements from Jake and Evan, a statement from his mother about Thanksgiving 2023, his therapy records showing he'd been seeing someone for over a year. And about Maya, Linda said quietly. He has every email, every calendar invite, every interaction documented, all professional. HR records showing he maintained proper boundaries, phone records showing 0 personal contact. She even provided a statement. Your concerns were completely unfounded. His lawyer sent a settlement offer. $25,000 lump sum. You walk away. No alimony, no property claims. 10 days to respond. That's it? If we go to trial, you'll spend that in legal fees and likely get less. He has everything documented. I tried calling David, number disconnected. I tried emailing. Auto response. Please direct all communication through my attorney. The settlement hearing was supposed to be procedural. Sign papers done. But when the judge asked if either party wanted to make a statement, David said, "Yes, Your Honor." He pulled out a piece of paper, read calmly. This marriage started with hope. I thought I'd found a partner. But over 3 years, she systematically withdrew all affection, weaponized intimacy to punish perceived slights, and spent tens of thousands of my money while refusing to contribute. I tried therapy. She refused to attend. I tried conversations. She used them as ammunition later. My face burned. People in the courtroom were watching. I documented everything because I knew if I ever left, I'd be called the bad guy, the man who abandoned his wife. But the truth is, she abandoned this marriage 3 years ago. She just expected me to stay anyway. He looked directly at me for the first time. The saddest part isn't that she withheld love, it's that she did it to control me and convinced herself she was empowered. That's not feminism. That's abuse with better branding. The judge looked at me. Mom, do you wish to respond? Every rationalization I'd built up sounded pathetic in my head. The boundaries language, the I wasn't obligated defense, the Maya accusations. All of it hollow. I shook my head. The settlement is approved. I signed the papers with shaking hands. David left without looking back. I took the settlement. $25,000 for 3 years of marriage. I moved into a small apartment with a roommate, Emma, some grad student. It's fine. Not the townhouse, but it's temporary. I tried calling David's mother. She told me never to contact them again and hung up. Sarah, one of our mutual friends, finally admitted, "Everyone saw how you treated him. We just didn't know what to say." Someone leaked my texts with Ryan. My Instagram posts suddenly looked different. I deleted everything. I tried posting in divorce support forums about how he hid assets and manipulated the system. But when I explained the full story, people turned on me. That's not financial abuse. Withholding intimacy for years as punishment is abuse. Wait, you were texting an ex? I stopped posting. Now I sit in my bedroom while Emma watches TV in the living room. I scroll through forums looking for someone who gets it. Because I did have boundaries. That's what Jess said. Men need to be controlled. I wasn't obligated. My body, my choice. The Maya thing was suspicious. She was always around him. I was protecting my marriage. His friends were disrespectful. I had every right. He became cold first. The lawyer bills keep coming. Ryan blocked me. I saw David's Instagram. He's hiking with Jake and Evan, smiling, looking happy. I closed the app. Emma's laughing at something on TV. I don't join her. The apartment walls feel very close. I had boundaries. I stood up for myself. If he couldn't handle a strong woman, that's on him. The ceiling fan spins above me. I stay in my room.